All right, this is another evening of technology not working. So I'm going to try my best here. And we're going to start with synthetic division. This is going to be used to divide a polynomial by a linear binomial. So standard form first of all, you want to start with your steps and you want to make sure it is in standard form. And you need to put zeros for anything missing, and you must have all exponents represented. Step 2, set divisor equal to 0 and solve. 3, use the 0 and coefficients to divide. Answer is always written with leading exponent dropped down by 1. Now, I'm going to work out this example here and hopefully explain what some of this means. All right, so first of all, you want to make sure this divisor dividend is in standard form. So that means highest exponent down to your lowest exponent. And we got 3, 2, 1, 0. And notice it says up here, must have all exponents. And when you are looking for that, you want to make sure you start with the largest and you count down and you have all your numbers represented. So we do in this case. So we're going to go to step 2, which is set divisor equal to 0 and solve. So x minus 4 equals 0. And solving that, x equals 4. All right, so you're used to, like if we're talking about long division, you see this long division for that. Well, we're going to do something like that. And this number will go on the outside, but it's going to go upside down instead of the regular way you're used to seeing it. Now you're going to write the coefficients down here. And make sure when you write your coefficients, you include the signs for all of them. All right, so now we're ready to start with the synthetic division process, which means you take the first number and you bring it straight down below the line. If it is below the line, you're going to multiply it with what's on the outside. So 2 times 4 is 8. And that number is going to go right there underneath that negative 13. Then here, you're just going to do what your signs say. Negative 13 plus 8. And it's a plus 8 because it's a positive, which gives you negative 5. When you're below the line, you're going to multiply. So negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. And that goes below the 26. And then you're doing what your signs say, 26 minus 20, which is 6, goes below the line, which means that you're going to have to multiply with what's on the outside. So 6 times 4 is 24. And that goes underneath the negative 24. And negative 24 plus 24 is 0. I always tell students put a box around that last one right there, because this is going to indicate if you have a remainder or not when you're dividing. Since this is a 0, it does not have a remainder. Now, answer is always written with leading exponent dropped down by 1. All right, so if you think about it with dividing, you always have, when you divide with exponents, you are supposed to subtract. So if you think about it, x cubed divided by x would just be x squared. So that's why we're going to have to drop our exponents down by 1. So 2x squared minus 5x plus 6. And that right there is your answer with synthetic division. So let's do some more examples here. So hopefully this will start making some more sense. All right, so with this first one, or the second one here, x squared plus 7x minus 11 divided by x minus 3. So first of all, you want to make sure this is in standard form and you have all of your exponents. So 2, 1, and 0. You have all of those. That means you need to take this over here, set it equal to 0, and solve it. So x minus 3 equals 0, and x equals 3. Remember that right there is going to go on the outside, and you're doing your upside down division thing. Make sure you give enough space right there so you can write some numbers in there. Now, what goes along the top row is your coefficients. So there's understood to be a 1 there. So 1, 7, and negative 11. Okay, your first number comes straight down. When you're below the line, you multiply. So 1 times 3 is 3. Do what your signs say. So 7 plus 3 is 10. And 10 times 3 is 30. And then you're going to do negative 11 plus 30, which in this case will be 19. Box in that last number because that's going to indicate your remainder. Now you're going to write your answer. Remember, this is a squared, so you're going to drop that exponent down by 1. So you're going to start out with an x. And you can write a 1x if you want, plus 10. Now this is your remainder, and I'm going to show you how to write your remainder. So plus 19, and it's a plus because this is a positive 19, divided by, and you're always going to divide by whatever this is right here, whatever your divisor was. So x minus 3. And this will be your answer. All right, example 3 then. So we're going to start out by making sure we got it in standard form and we have all of our exponents. So 4x to the 4th. So we got a 4, a 2, 1, 0. Notice it went from 4 to 2. Notice you are missing x cubed. If you are missing a number, you have to have it represented. So we're going to put a plus 0x cubed plus 2x squared minus 4x plus 12. Okay. You still take your divisor over here and set it equal to 0 and solve it. That number is always going to go on the outside of your upside down division. And we're going to write our coefficients here. Now you want to make sure you're using the one with the 0 in it. This is important that you include that 0. You have to have all of your exponents represented. Bring down your 4. If it's below the line, you're going to multiply it with what's on the outside. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. We'll put that underneath the next number. And you're doing what your signs say. So 0 minus 8 is negative 8. Below the line, multiply. So negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. That goes underneath the next number. Do what your signs say. So 2 plus 16, because that's a positive, is 18. Below the line, you multiply. So 18 times negative 2 is negative 36. And negative 4 minus 36, because this is a negative, we're going to do a minus. So that's going to give us a negative 40. And negative 40 times negative 2, because you're below the line, we're going to multiply and give you 80. And 12 plus 80 will be 92. Boxing that last number in because that's going to indicate our remainder. Now this started out with x to the 4th. So we're going to have to drop it down by 1. So we're going to drop that to x to the 3rd. So 4x to the 3rd minus 8x squared plus 18x minus 40. Now we're going to write our remainder. So plus 92, and it's always going to be whatever your divisor was, x plus 2 in this case. And this is going to be our answer. All right, let's move on to example number 4. So here, you want to make sure it's written a little differently, but it still means the same thing. We're going to divide. And you want to make sure you have all of your exponents. So 3, 2, 1, 0. We're good with that. Take your divisor, set it equal to 0, and solve. So we've got negative 2. Negative 2 will go on the outside of your upside down division. Then you're going to write down your coefficients. Remember, there's understood to be a 1 right there. 2, negative 4, and negative 8. Your first number needs to come straight down. Multiply because it's below the line. So 1 times negative 2, it goes underneath the next number. So we got a 0 because 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 times negative 2 is 0, goes underneath the next number. And negative 4 plus 0 is negative 4. And negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. And then negative 8 plus 8 is 0. Notice we do not have a remainder in this one. As we've done before, it started out with x to the cube, so we're going to drop it down by 1, x squared. And this would be a plus 0x minus 4. Now 0 times x is 0, so there's really no point of having this right here. So your answer would just be x squared minus 4 is your answer. Okay. Let's try another one here real quick. So we've got x cubed minus 27 divided by x minus 3. Okay. Notice we have some missing terms here. So we're going to have x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 27. And you can have multiple missing terms, and you need to make sure you're putting zeros into all of those spots. Now we're going to take the x minus 3, set it equal to 0, and solve it. So x is just going to be 3. Remember that right there is going to go on the outside, and you're writing down your upside down division. Writing down your coefficients from here, because these zeros are important. 1, 0, 0, negative 27. You bring your first number down, and 1 times 3 is 3, and 0 plus 3 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9, and 0 plus 9 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. And negative 27 plus 0 is 0. So we do not have a remainder, so we're going to write our answer here. X cubed, so we drop that down by 1, so we're going to have x squared plus 3x plus 9. Now, I should be mentioning that when you have a remainder of 0, that means x minus 3, or whatever this divisor is a factor of that problem. Okay, let's do this sixth one here. You want to make sure you're including your zeros. Notice we are missing some. So we're going to have x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 5x squared minus 2x. Notice we do not have a last term. We don't have a constant, so we're going to have to put a plus 0 in there. Set that x minus 1 equal to 0 and solve that. So we got x equals 1. So we're going to have 1. Make your upside down division thing, and let's put all of these coefficients in. So 1, 0, 5, negative 2, and 0. Bring your first number down. Multiply when you're below the line. 1 times 1 is 1. And 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. And 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. And 4 times 1 is 4. And 0 plus 4 is 4. There is your remainder. So we started with an x to the 4th. Still have to drop it down 1. So we're going to start out with an x to the 3rd plus x squared plus 6x plus 4. And remember, when you write your remainder, it's always going to be over your divisor. So in this case, x minus 1. And we're going to squeeze this last one in right here. All right. Notice we are missing a term here. And I feel like we've done this one. We have. This was actually number 3. So we are not going to do this problem again because that was example number 3.